The United States of America quarter dollar 1966 no mint mark Liberty is part of the long-running Washington quarter series, one of the most recognized and widely collected coins in American history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birth anniversary of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The coin was designed by sculptor John Flanagan, whose portrait of Washington appears on the obverse front side of the coin. The 1966 quarter belongs to an important transitional period in U.S. coinage history, when major changes were made to the metal composition due to a nationwide coin shortage and rising silver prices. On the obverse front of the 1966 quarter, you will see the left-facing bust of George Washington. Above his head is the word Liberty, which represents freedom and is one of the core values of the United States. The national motto, "In God We Trust," appears to the left of Washington's portrait, while the date 1966 is shown at the bottom. On the reverse back side, there is an eagle with its wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness to defend the nation. Beneath the arrows are two olive branches, representing peace. Above the eagle are the words, United States of America, and below it is the denomination quarter dollar. One very important feature of the 1966 quarter is that it has no mint mark. During the years 1965, 1966, and 1967, the United States Mint removed mint marks from coins to discourage coin hoarding during a severe coin shortage. Normally, mint marks identify where a coin was produced, such as Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. However, in 1966, even though coins were mainly struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco facilities, no mint mark was placed on any quarter. Therefore, all genuine 1966 quarters appear without a mint mark. Another very significant change in 1966 was the metal composition. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. However, starting in 1965, including the 1966 quarter, the composition changed to a copper-nickel-clad structure. The coin is made of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This gives the coin a silver-like appearance, but with a visible copper-colored edge when viewed from the side. The weight of the coin is approximately 5.67 grams. Its diameter is 24.3 millimeters, and its thickness is about 1.75 millimeters. The 1966 quarter was produced in very large quantities to solve the coin shortage problem. The total mintage was over 821 million pieces, making it one of the more common dates in the Washington quarter series. Because of this high mintage, most 1966 quarters found in circulation today are worth only their face value of 25 cents, especially if they show normal wear. However, coins in uncirculated condition, mint state, with strong luster and no major scratches can have higher collector value. High-grade examples graded by professional services may sell for a premium, especially those with exceptional quality. Collectors often look for special varieties or errors in 1966 quarters. Some possible collectible errors include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or coins struck on wrong metal planchets. While these are rare, they can significantly increase the coin's value. Because mint marks were intentionally removed during this period, the absence of a mint mark on a 1966 quarter is normal and not considered an error. Historically, the 1966 quarter represents an important era in American economic history. The mid-1960s saw rising silver prices, which made it more expensive for the government to produce silver coins. This led Congress to pass the Coinage Act of 1965, officially ending the use of silver in circulating dimes and quarters. The 1966 quarter is therefore part of the first generation of modern clad coinage in the United States. In summary, the 1966 United States quarter dollar, no mint mark Liberty, is a copper-nickel clad coin featuring the classic Washington design by John Flanagan. It was produced without mint marks due to a temporary policy by the United States Mint during a coin shortage. Although it is very common in circulated condition, it remains historically important as part of the transition from silver to clad coinage. For collectors, its value depends mainly on condition, luster, and possible mint errors rather than rarity. Next, top 2, the United States of America quarter dollar 1967 no mint mark Liberty is part of the historic Washington quarter series, one of the longest running and most widely circulated coin designs in American history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design was created by American sculptor John Flanagan, whose portrait of Washington continues to appear on the obverse of the coin. The 1967 quarter belongs to an important transitional period in U.S. coinage when silver was removed from circulating quarters and mint marks were temporarily eliminated. On the obverse front of the 1967 quarter, the left-facing portrait of George Washington is shown in detailed classical style. Above his head is the word Liberty, symbolizing freedom, one of the fundamental principles of the United States. To the left of the portrait appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," and the date 1967 is displayed at the bottom. The design is simple yet dignified, reflecting stability and tradition in American currency. On the reverse back of the coin, there is a heraldic eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle is perched on a bundle of arrows, representing military strength and unity, while olive branches beneath the arrows symbolize peace. Above the eagle are the words, United States of America, and below is the denomination, quarter dollar. One of the most important features of the 1967 quarter is that it has no mint mark. Normally, U.S. coins include a mint mark indicating where they were produced, such as Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. However, from 1965 through 1967, the United States Mint removed mint marks from all coins to discourage coin collecting and hoarding during a severe nationwide coin shortage. Therefore, the absence of a mint mark on a 1967 quarter is completely normal and does not increase its value by itself. The 1967 quarter is also significant because of its metal composition. Prior to 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. Due to rising silver prices and increasing demand for coins, the Coinage Act of 1965 eliminated silver from quarters. As a result, the 1967 quarter is made of a copper-nickel clad composition. Outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This gives the coin a silver-colored surface, but a visible reddish copper stripe along the edge. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a thickness of about 1.75 millimeters. The mintage of the 1967 quarter was extremely high, with more than 1.5 billion coins produced. Because of this very large production number, the 1967 quarter is common in circulation today. In worn, circulated condition, it is generally worth only its face value of 25 cents. However, coins in uncirculated mint state, condition with original mint luster, sharp details, and no major marks can be worth more to collectors. High-grade certified examples may bring higher prices depending on quality and market demand. Collectors sometimes search for error varieties in 1967 quarters. Possible errors include double die varieties, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, lamination errors, or coins struck on incorrect planchets. While such errors are rare, they can significantly increase the value of a coin. It is important to have unusual coins evaluated by a professional grading service to confirm authenticity and condition. Historically, the 1967 quarter represents a key moment in U.S. monetary history. It reflects the government's response to economic pressures and metal shortages during the mid-1960s. The removal of silver and mint marks marks a clear shift from traditional precious metal coinage to modern clad coin production. After 1967, mint marks were restored in 1968, and coin production returned to normal identification practices. In summary, the 1967 United States quarter dollar no-mint mark Liberty is a copper-nickel-clad coin featuring the classic Washington design by John Flanagan. Although very common and usually worth face value in circulated condition, it holds historical importance as part of the transition away from silver coinage and the temporary elimination of mint marks. For collectors, its main value lies in high-grade condition, mint errors, and its place in the broader history of American coinage. Next, top 3. The United States of America quarter dollar 1977 D Liberty is part of the long-running Washington quarter series, one of the most familiar and widely used coins in American history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. The coin's design was created by American sculptor John Flanagan, whose portrait of Washington appears on the obverse front of the coin. The 1977 D quarter continues this classic design and represents the standard circulating U.S. quarter of the late 1970s. On the obverse front of the 1977 D quarter, the left-facing portrait of George Washington is shown in a clean and traditional style. Above his head appears the word Liberty, symbolizing freedom and independence, which are central values of the United States. To the left of Washington's portrait is the national motto, "In God We Trust," and the date 1977 is displayed at the bottom. On coins minted in Denver, a small D mint mark appears to the right of Washington's ponytail, just above the date. This D indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the main facilities of the United States Mint. The reverse back of the 1977 D quarter features a heraldic eagle with its wings spread wide. The eagle is perched on a bundle of arrows, representing strength and military readiness, while 2 olive branches beneath symbolize peace. Above the eagle are the words, United States of America, and below it is the denomination quarter dollar. This reverse design was used on Washington quarters from 1932 until 1998, before the introduction of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. The 1977 D quarter is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition. Since 1965, U.S. quarters have not contained silver. Instead, they consist of outer layers made of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This gives the coin a silver-colored appearance on the surface, but shows a reddish-brown copper stripe along the edge. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a thickness of about 1.75 millimeters. The edge of the coin is reeded grooved, which helps prevent counterfeiting and reduces wear. In terms of mintage, the 1977 D quarter was produced in large numbers. The Denver Mint struck over 256 million pieces in 1977. Because of this high production, the coin is common in circulation today. Most circulated examples are worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, coins in uncirculated mint state condition, especially those with strong luster and minimal contact marks, can be worth more to collectors. High-grade examples certified by professional grading companies may bring premium prices, particularly in grades such as MS 65 or higher. Collectors sometimes search for error coins and varieties among 1977 D quarters. Possible errors include off-center strikes, double die varieties, clipped planchets, or coins struck on incorrect metal planchets. While such errors are rare, they can significantly increase a coin's value depending on rarity and condition. Normal 1977 D quarters without errors are generally collected as part of date and mint sets of Washington quarters. Historically, the 1977 D quarter represents the standard U.S. circulating coinage of the post-silver era. The late 1970s were a period of economic challenges in the United States, including inflation, but the design and composition of the quarter remained stable and consistent. The Washington quarter design continued unchanged until 1999, when it was modified for commemorative state designs. In summary, the 1977 D United States quarter dollar Liberty is a copper-nickel-clad coin struck at the Denver Mint, identified by its D Mint mark. Featuring John Flanagan classic portrait of George Washington and the traditional eagle reverse, it is a common but historically important piece of American coinage. While most